We have covered many stories regarding the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni battle. There's one that slipped through the cracks that I think is imperative we talk about, and that involves her co-star, Jenny Slate.
Jenny Slate is suddenly at the center of swirling rumors that could reshape a very public clash between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. From whispered allegations about on-set discomfort to a long trail of controversial comments, Slate's name has surfaced in ways no one saw coming. Is she the co-star whose claims might tip the scales in this tumultuous saga? Or could her own past be too explosive to ignore? Today, we're diving deep into the untold details of Jenny Slate's rumored involvement, from the financial offers that made her uneasy to revelations about her personal life that just might overshadow the entire dispute.
Jenny Slate has not officially confirmed that she is one of the co-stars that Blake Lively is alleging also felt uncomfortable by Justin.
So how does Jenny Slate fit into a controversy that, until recently, revolved around Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? According to insider reports, it all started with an unsettling encounter, though the exact nature of this tension remains murky. Some sources claim that Slate felt uncomfortable about how Baldoni's partner addressed her living situation. Others suggest there was friction tied to Slate's role as a mother, and that Sony eventually stepped in to smooth things over. What stands out is the lack of official confirmation from Slate herself. She hasn't come forward to comment, despite internet discussions pointing to her as the unnamed co-star in the thick of it. For curious onlookers, it raises a question. Is Jenny Slate the hidden key witness in Blake Lively's claims? Or is she just another Hollywood name caught in the rumor mill? One thing's certain, the curiosity around her involvement is heating up, and people are scrambling to uncover every detail. Enjoying this deep dive into Hollywood's latest feud? Remember to hit like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update on the drama.
It stemmed from an interaction with Jamie Heath. Slate had a toddler, then told Jamie that she wasn't thrilled with the accommodations she rented, but it wasn't an option to change because of the security deposit of $15,000. Heath then informed Jenny that Wayfair would reimburse her, but apparently made the offer using language that made Slate uncomfortable.
Early in this saga, a story emerged about how Jenny Slate was struggling to find a suitable place to live while filming. Allegedly, she'd locked into a lease that didn't meet her standards, especially since she had a toddler in tow. Losing her security deposit, apparently around $15,000, would have been a tough pill to swallow, so she stayed put in an apartment she reportedly disliked. Then, as the story goes, Baldoni's partner, Jamie Heath, allegedly offered to reimburse her for the lost deposit so she could relocate. On the surface, that might seem like a generous gesture. So where does the controversy creep in? Well, Slate apparently found the language used in that offer disconcerting. Something about referencing the sanctity of motherhood in a way that rubbed her the wrong way. It sounds mild at first glance, but we've all seen how a simple phrase can ignite a much bigger fire. If Slate truly felt uneasy or singled out for her parental status, it could bolster Blake Lively's complaints, especially if Lively plans to call Slate as a witness or use her story as evidence of Baldoni's team crossing lines. But that wasn't the full story.
I did a YouTube video about an hour and a half long. I'll put just like the one post here where she's making, I don't know, like a lame apology. I don't even know if you could call it an apology. I didn't even show the majority of the tweets on YouTube because they were so offensive, so horrific.
What's raising eyebrows now are the shocking tweets that people have dug up from Jenny Slate's past. These aren't just mildly insensitive jokes. Some critics describe them as blatantly offensive. Screenshots circulating online show tweets many viewers find appalling, especially in today's climate where past social media posts can derail entire careers. Some fans feel disappointed that the comedian behind Marcel the Shell could have posted such harsh and provocative remarks. Others argue that she's a comedian known for pushing boundaries. Regardless of personal opinions, there's no denying that these controversial tweets could resurface with a vengeance if she becomes a key figure in a high-profile dispute. If Baldoni's team needs to discredit her, you can bet they'll seize on every questionable statement she's ever made, using them as proof that her credibility is on shaky ground. It's not just about shock value, though. In Hollywood, reputation is currency. If Blake Lively hopes to present a united front of co-stars who share her concerns, having one ally with a rocky public image could turn into a liability. After all, a formal investigation, or even a heated public debate, often hinges on how credible the complaining witnesses appear, but Slate's past tweets aren't the only skeleton in her closet.
Let's listen to what she admits to doing to her ex-boyfriend, Chris Evans.
Never hit anybody as much as I hit Chris. I slapped him so much.
While scouring through Jenny Slate's background, fans and skeptics alike stumbled on something even more startling: her own admission of physically hitting an ex-boyfriend. During an episode of Anna Faris's podcast, Slate openly confessed to slapping and hitting her partner Chris over the course of their relationship. She even mentioned that she took this habit home and hit friends because she'd gotten used to it. Hearing someone casually describe this behavior was jarring to many listeners. Some argued it was just a comedic bit taken too far, but others saw it as serious evidence of assaultive behavior, especially since she continued talking about it long after the punchline had passed. Now imagine how this might play out if she's called upon in a legal or public relations capacity to testify about anyone else's inappropriate conduct. Critics of Slate have jumped on this moment, labeling her a problematic figure who hardly has the moral high ground to point fingers. If this were an isolated incident, it might fade away. But this confession, combined with her controversial tweets, forms a pattern that could overshadow any allegations she might bring forward. And what happens if Blake Lively tries to highlight Slate's discomfort, only to have the focus shift to Slate's own problematic record? Now that people know about Jenny Slate's controversies, the stakes have risen in this already messy situation. If she truly is the co-star, rumored to have lodged a complaint against Justin Baldoni's team, she may face a backlash that has nothing to do with Lively or Baldoni. Instead, the conversation might turn into a public interrogation of Slate's character. Who is she to complain about crossing lines when she has her own troubling history? From a legal standpoint, Baldoni's defense or Sony's legal team could argue that Slate's credibility is compromised by her own admissions and inflammatory social media footprint. Lawyers often use a witness's past behavior to question their reliability, and Hollywood disputes can play out like a chess match, strategic and unforgiving. If there are depositions or statements under oath, every embarrassing tidbit of a witness's past is fair game. This means that the entire dynamic of the Lively versus Baldoni conflict could shift if Slate becomes a central figure. Instead of focusing solely on whether Baldoni made co-stars uncomfortable, the public might start asking, is Jenny Slate a reliable witness? Or even, is she deflecting her own wrongdoing by accusing others? Bringing Jenny Slate's story into the spotlight is a high-risk move for Blake Lively. If Lively aims to demonstrate a pattern of behavior on Baldoni's part by pointing to Jenny Slate's alleged discomfort, she has to account for Slate's turbulent history. What if the star witness transforms into a huge distraction? Public sentiment can shift abruptly, and the court of public opinion is notoriously harsh. While Lively might be banking on Slate's experience to support her claims, Baldoni's representatives could systematically dismantle Slate's credibility, swaying neutral observers to question everything. Even if Lively's allegations are well-founded, they could get buried beneath fresh controversies about Slate's past. Hollywood drama thrives on twists like this. One celebrity aims to strengthen a case, only to have their ally's track record undermine the entire argument. It's a gamble, and it remains to be seen how or if Lively decides to play that card. Jenny Slate's rumored involvement in the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni feud has added a layer of complexity no one expected. What began as whispers about an awkward apartment arrangement tied to motherhood is now tangled with revelations of disturbing tweets and confessions of physical violence. The question isn't just whether Slate was truly wronged, it's whether her own past might eclipse her claims before she can even air them. If Blake Lively does bring her forward, she risks drawing attention to a host of controversies that could distract from the original grievance. On the flip side, if Slate stays silent, she might still remain a mystery figure who holds information everyone's desperate to know. In the end, this story may not hinge on a single rumor or complaint. It might all come down to the reputations of those involved and the sometimes unpredictable tide of public opinion. So, where does that leave us? The stakes are high, and each day brings a new possibility of shocking details. Hollywood is bracing for another wave of allegations, denials, and spin. But one thing is clear, Jenny Slate's name won't be leaving the conversation anytime soon. Will she become the star witness who affirms Blake Lively's complaints, or will she prove to be more of a liability than an asset? That answer may come sooner than anyone expects, and it could change everything we think we know about this case.